Hello and welcome to Dabbling in Journals, and the topic of today's video is journaling overwhelm. And the reason I decided to make a video on this is because I sat down at my desk this morning to do some journaling and I didn't know where to start. I have behind with so many things, I couldn't decide which to do. I'm behind with my memory keeping, and I keep my memory keeping journal in here, and I really live that, and I feel like it's really good for my mental health to do my memory keeping. So I thought, well, I can do that. But then I was thinking, I haven't worked in this journal for ages, and I know that I'm also really behind in this one. And then I thought to myself, I haven't done this journal for ages, and I'm really behind with this one. And then I thought to myself, I haven't worked in here for months and months and months, and I'm really behind with this one. And so I became overwhelmed. There's just too many. And the reason I have too many journals, well, there's two reasons. One, I buy things on a whim just because I see other people using them and I think, oh, what a lovely thing to do, and I decide to buy it. And the other reason is because I just have too many journals. Now, the reason I have too many journals is because I love collecting the covers. And the only way I can justify to myself to buy a new cover is to find a use for it. But then I end up with so many journals that it's really difficult to keep up with them all. So how can I solve this problem? Well, I think the most overwhelming journals for me are ones that are dated, where I can see the gaps. So for example, in this journal, I have an insert that you will have seen me working on before if you follow my channel, and it's a weekly insert and I decorate it and write in it every week. That week I didn't because I was in Paris. But I got to August, the 14th of August is the last time I worked in here. So I've got all these pages that I'm behind on because we're now here on the 4th of October. So what do I do about all of these pages? And the fact that there'll be a gap really bothers me. Now, in contrast, this insert, which will also have seen me working, is the one where I do my focus of the week. And this one is not dated. So the fact that I also haven't worked in this one since August, it doesn't bother me because I'm not going to get a gap in my journal. I can just start again today, which I'm going to do with you later in the video. So, oh, they've got no elastic. I borrowed it for another journal. I need to find another one. So the dated journal seems to be a problem for me. And when I think about it, that's probably why I am also behind and overwhelmed by being behind in these two. This is a Hobonichi. I bought it on a whim. I really didn't need it. But again, they're absolutely gorgeous little journals, and I see so many people using them, and I think that the paper's lovely, and I really wanted to give it a go. But I hadn't really got a clear idea of what I wanted to use it for. So initially, I was using it to pull tarot cards and to do to-do lists. But I'm now using the insert in here to pull my tarot cards, and even then I'm behind. So I just decorated away, and I did enjoy doing this, little doodles and so on. But then I thought I was just doing it for the sake of it. I was finding once I moved my tarot drawer into another book, I didn't need a whole page of to-do lists. In fact, I don't really need all that much in the way of to-do lists at all. So at this point, I decided that instead of doing to-do lists and tarot, I would look at the goals that I set at the beginning of the journal here. And I had goals to do with finances, health, YouTube, home, family and friends, and creativity. And I thought, well, I will sort of use this to track those goals to see when I'm actually doing things that fit in with me achieving those goals, and also for notes and so on. And that worked really well for me, and I thought, well, actually that's a better use of this journal. And if I didn't have anything that I wanted to do in terms of my goals, I'll just collage like this. And I was really happy with this. I was thinking it's looking really pretty. I really liked it. But then I carried on with this for a bit, and then I decided again that I was kind of writing things for the sake of it. that I didn't really need to be tracking goals like this, because my goals, they're not like work goals where it's really important that I achieve them. So it sort of gradually changed. Now, at this point it changed, and I just started using it as a, oh no, still goals. Where did it change? Maybe here. It's around here. I started using it to just track like daily memories, which I thought would be helpful for my memory keeping journal. And I carried on doing that, and I was really happy with it. And I thought, well, that's quite a nice use for this little journal. But then I realised that actually that just overlaps with my memory keeping 5-year diary Hobonichi. I'll come to that in a minute. But I carried on with it anyway, because I couldn't think of anything else to do with this journal that I'd bought that I didn't really need. And so I carried on, and at this point I carried on writing, but I stopped decorating because I just didn't feel like I had the time. And then I thought, I'll catch it up. I'll just go back and decorate all these pages when I feel like it. But I will catch it up. That's what I was thinking in my head. Wouldn't take too long. But it went on, and I was still not decorating and still not decorating. Here we are in August, gone a little bit further than I did in my tarot journal. But then it petered out on the 12th of August, and I've done nothing in August and September. And oh, little bit there, look, I must have picked it up again. Did a little bit in September, and then it stopped. And what a shame, so near the end. But again, I've got all these blank pages and all this decorating to do, and that's overwhelming for me. So finally, I also have this 5-year Hobonichi, which cost an arm and a leg, which I splurged on before I actually bought the other Hobonichi. I've done even worse in this one. I only made it to, I think it was about, when did I stop? Is that the last page? Yes, so that was February. And then I haven't done any more. And I thought, oh, I'll catch it up. But you get to the point where you're not going to catch it up. And I've just got to admit defeat. And that's really difficult. Now, obviously, the obvious answer to this is for me not to have so many dated journals. Because once they're dated and I miss some of it, I become overwhelmed, and that's uncomfortable. So I actually did a focus of the week. I had this card here. I pull these cards. If you don't normally follow me, I pull these cards just to give myself something interesting to think about during the week and research, and maybe think of something useful and interesting. And that one was actually on the top, it's the world card, and it was on the topic of completion. And so I was thinking about that in my focus of the week journal, which is not dated and it's not causing me any stress. And I was thinking about that. So let me just put the card and tell you some of the thoughts that I had or researched. I mean, I just Google it and see what happens and where it leads. And I was reading this psychology article where it said, quotation, when something is certain and known, we feel comfortable and in control. However, when something is not complete, we cannot close that thing in our mind, and we keep thinking about it. As more things are left incomplete, we get more and more distracted and exhausted, hence the reason that I'm feeling overwhelmed at the moment. Now, to-do lists can be a helpful productivity tool. Most people in the planner and journaling community will understand the satisfaction of writing a to-do list and ticking off all the items. However, the desire to do this can lead us to avoid big tasks, as we can tick off small tasks, and it's satisfying to tick them off, so we tend to procrastinate over the big tasks. Or it can lead us to ignore the most important things we want to do in favour of ticking off easier things. So to avoid these problems with to-do lists, it's a good idea to break big tasks into smaller tasks so that you can tick them off more quickly, or prioritize with your tasks so that you don't just do the quickest and easiest first, you do the things that are most important to you. So that was my focus of the week, and I thought about my journaling overwhelm, and I thought there's lots of good advice in there. And so, especially as this is not work related tasks, this is my hobby, I just do journaling for fun, I have decided to admit defeat with my Hobonichi, stop worrying about it. I don't have to complete it. There was no reason that I needed to complete it other than it was supposed to be fun. And if it's no longer fun, or I just feel I don't have time for it, then I can just say, that's it, stop. You don't need to carry on with it. You don't need to worry about it anymore. Decide it's complete and put it away. And I can put it in my archive box. Now, I know that somebody, one of you lovely viewers, suggested I do this last time I got overwhelmed with this journal. And at this point, I am admitting defeat. All through September, I was really struggling with my mental health, and I just couldn't do all these little things that I set myself. So that is going to be archived. And similarly with my 5-year Hobonichi, now as I said, this cost an arm and a leg. I would really like to do it, but I think what I'm going to do is just decide that I haven't done 2023. I'll give it another go in 2024 and see if I'm not doing all these other dated tasks I can actually manage with that one. So I am putting that in my archive box. Well, actually, I'll probably just put it back on my shelf, and I'm going to decide I am not going to complete this in 2023. And phew, that is a lot. That's 2 off my mind, and I can put them away. And again, in this journal, I am going to decide with this one too, that I'm not going to complete it. I completed the first half, and I was really happy that I did that. I don't want to feel overwhelmed. I don't want to feel stressed, especially as I'm about to start therapy. I am not going to worry. I'm going to archive that journal, and I'm not going to complete it. I am going to carry on with my focus of the week because I really enjoy it, and I'm going to do one in a minute. So I'm going to carry on with that. I've set myself up a therapy journal. There's a video on that if you're interested. And I have my memory keeping journal, and I'm just going to focus on those 2. And another reason for this, apart from the fact that I'm really overwhelmed, is that I really want to develop my art skills. I'm always saying it, but I never actually do it. Now, I did this picture. I don't know if you can see it on camera. It's quite big. I did this pastel painting. I've just posted it on Instagram of my grandson, and I was really pleased with how it came out, and I really enjoyed doing it. So I would like to spend more time developing my art skills and less time worrying about completing dated journals that are not that important to me. Instead, I'm going to focus on my focus of the week because I do love that, my memory keeping journal because I do love that. Next year I'm going to probably change up my planning insert, so I'll still have some opportunities to decorate in there. But yes, there we go, I've done it. I have reduced my overwhelm and my anxiety by archiving journals that I have fallen behind with. Now I do have others that I haven't worked in for ages. For example, I have my little commonplace book. I haven't worked in this for ages, but it's not stressing me because it's not dated, and I can pick this one up at any time that I feel that I want to. So that one's not stressing me. My travel journals, obviously I only do when I'm traveling. So I've done it, I've decided. So what I'm going to do now, because that was a lot of talking, I am going to pick a card for my focus of the week for this week, and I'm going to decorate my journal page. And now I no longer need an elastic because I've only got one to put back in here. Again, I've got an insert here that I haven't finished, but again, that's not overwhelming me because it's not dated. So keeping away from dated journals, apart from my planner, because everybody needs a planner, don't they? Or a diary or whatever, you know, for appointments, keeping away from any dated journals. Right, so let's pick a card for my focus of the week, and I'm changing my deck to this one because I bought this last year particularly for use around Halloween, and we're in October, so I think it's okay to start it. It's got these lovely moon faces on the back. It's got a nice small little guidebook and absolutely gorgeous artwork. And I love the way that the artwork on tarot and oracle cards inspires me. And they also quite often help. Like the last one I picked on completion, they help me think through things that are important to me. I don't use them for predicting the future, by the way. I've got far too rational an outlook for that kind of thing. Okay, I just had to pause because my dogs had a frenzy of barking because, oops, I've got these around the wrong way, hold on. Yeah, they had a frenzy of barking because a cat walked past the window. And I am so relieved that the lady that owns the cat that torments my dogs has sold her house. And presumably she'll be taking her cat with her when she moves, which will be another stress in my life removed. Right, let's see what card we get. Oh, I got it around the wrong way. Oh, create. Now, how wonderful is that? When I was just talking about how much I want to focus on developing my art skills, I pick a card which says create. So I will be able to think about what that means and journal in my focus of the week inset. So this is our card and I want to decorate to match that card. And I don't have my printer out, so I'm not going to print the photo of it now, but I will print that afterwards. Right, and I'm using my Lyra pouch, which is full of all my supplies, and I'm going to have a look in here and see what would look nice. Isn't it gorgeous? What would look nice with this card? And we've got the lovely Halloween colours, purple and orange. We've got an image of a beautiful witch and a black raven, and I'm guessing that's the moon. Just love the colour palette. Even though it's purple and orange, it's very muted. So let's start off with some papers. I'm just looking in here for some papers to use, and I've remembered that my daughter Ria has gone on holiday to Cyprus. Isn't she lucky? She's gone on holiday with her partner's family this time, and I gave her all my papers, so I need to grab some more. Right, so I've grabbed some papers and let's see. Ooh, look at this lovely dark purple. I think that looks really nice with that card. Just grab my washi drawer. I just have this like little drawer which is full of washies, which I can just grab and choose some. And we've got lovely purple washies. Look at these. Definitely going with purple then, and I can see these dots are going to look nice. Where was I? I had to pause because my dogs were barking, so I've been and played with them, and now they're a little bit more settled. So I was going to decorate this with all these lovely colours. I might want a focal element sticker. Let's have a look and see what I've got in here. I'm just looking at that washi. That one looks nice too. Haven't found a focal point yet. Oh, I'm just looking at that. Might use that with the October on it. Okay, I've pulled out a few bits that I'm thinking I would like to use. So let's get started. I'm going to start with tearing off. I think I'm going to go for a corner again because I'm not printing the photo and I can put the photo up in the top corner. So I'm going to go down in this corner here and let's cut a little piece of this off. Isn't this cool? This came from Snippets and Scraps. Don't know where she got it from, but it's so cool. Just going to cut a little piece. It's like a net. Going to cut a little piece of this off, like so. Right, what next? Let's put some washi tape on. I think this one looks perfect with this card. And then I might use this. which says October. That's cool, isn't it? Do I want that as well, or just that? I think just that. Let's put that one on. And even though that's sort of dating it, I'm choosing to date it, and I don't have to do it every time. So I just really like that stamp. Louise from Coffee Tea Paper sent me this, and that stamp is an LCN design stamp, which I don't have, sadly, but she was so kind as to send it to me so that I can still use it, even though I don't have it. But that little purple flower there, that's pretty, isn't it? Nimwe's being really barky today. Could you hear her in the background? I think that one. I think that looks really pretty. I'm going to use this down here because it's quite small. There we go. I'm going to take some of my little dots, put some of these on. Put one there, and then there's an even smaller one. I don't know if I can do this one. Oh, what a challenge. I admit defeat, that is too small for me. No, I don't like it there. That's better. I don't know why. Okay, I'm going to call that done. I will take a photograph of this card and pop it up here, and then I will do some thinking about what I want to journal about in terms of the keyword create. And I'm now going to take out my barking dog for a run. Wear her out. Okay, so I'm just briefly interrupting this video, my own video. I have decided what I'm going to keep in this journal. So I'm going to take out my Hobonichi, dated Hobonichi, and I need to rescue all my lovely little brass tabs and use those elsewhere, possibly on my planner, because I think that's the only insert that I want to keep as a dated insert. And I've decided that I'm going to put this little Hobonichi, which is undated. So I started using this as a sketchbook, didn't get very far with it, but I could use this for sketching and collaging whenever I feel like it, rather than using the dated one, and it won't overwhelm me. So I'm going to pop this in this lovely cover that I was gifted. And yeah, that's cool. So I'm going to do that. And now I also want to offer a giveaway, because as I said, I have too many journals, and I had a look about and I thought there's one that I really love, but I haven't used it for years and years and years and years. I've had it and I haven't used it. So I'm going to offer it as a giveaway in case there's somebody out there who would love it and actually use it. So here we go. This is a notebook that I purchased, and you can see why if you follow my channel, because the theme on the fabric is coffee. There's a little takeaway coffee cup, a cafetiere, a coffee jug, a coffee cup, lots of words, Americano, dark, coffee, enjoy. Same on the back. So it's made of fabric, which is really unusual, and it's a folio, and it was made by Lyra Co on Etsy. If that shop's still open, I'll link it below. And it's an A6 size, and inside it has a 365 notebook. And what's really cool about this notebook is the fact that it's super thin paper, really, really super thin. There's 365 sheets. I haven't used it, though I've had it for a long time. It's got this super, super thin paper. In fact, it's really similar to the super lightweight paper from Traveller's Company. Let me just have a little look and see. Yeah, it's very similar to that. It's slightly shiny though. On one side is shiny and one side is more matte. but it's really thin. And as you can see from this journal, it can be really fun to work on. I don't write on the back of the page I've already written on, because the writing does show through. So what I do is collage on one side and write on the other. And I really like how it looks. I love the scrunchy feel. I really enjoy working in this notebook. So I don't know why I don't do it more often, but I have this super light insert, and I think I have more super light inserts for when this one's full, and I don't see myself ever getting around to using a super light paper in a 365 page books, because that's likely to get overwhelming for me. So I'm thinking that one of you might like to make use of this lovely coffee folio with this 365 notebook, and then instead of sitting abandoned and neglected in my drawer, this notebook could go to somebody who will love it and actually use it. So if you think that somebody is you, please do leave a comment at the end of this video, and if more than one person comments, I will do a draw, and that would happen, I guess, next Tuesday. So I'll put the dates in the description box below for the giveaway. So good luck if you want it, and I would like to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.